Well, and I think we need to know what they, one thing I was talking to Amy was, we need to, what are they comfortable doing? So. Hey, David.
How you doing?
Oh, okay.
Never mind.
Consider we can.
I'll be the audience.
You did try to do inspections. Well, I was lucky you didn't have any calls for anything. Bethel did the one they had for, so I don't really know. I guess people would take pictures and take pictures and email them to me if they had the ability.
Well, let's pledge and then we'll get started. That makes sense? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ashley, I called Ashley, she should be on the way up here.
Okay,
So if you hear the door rattling, that's probably who it is.
I'll listen.
So we'll call the meeting to order, and our only agenda item is to figure out how to deal with coronavirus. Right, that's what we need to figure out.
Yeah.
The only thing I would ask of everybody is, and Amy, you and I talked about it a little bit. Let's start with as much of an open mind as we can, and then we'll narrow down. The decision's already been made. We could close the meeting and leave. So let's everybody have an open mind, see what we should do. And you guys had a call with
The CDC.
CDC, yeah. So what'd you hear?
I'll let Dave lead that off.
Okay.
Well, so it was a conference call
Yeah.
with the main CDC, and there was the head guy, Murat Shaw, something like that. And the Sherry Bennett seemed to be a nurse type person. There was over 290 participants in the call.
All the municipal offices or all the towns?
Yeah,
And the hospitals,
whoever.
ambulances,
All right.
everybody was able to
Yeah.
call in, yeah.
So we have currently there's 17 cases in Maine. 2 are in the hospital. 1 is a youth. They've confirmed that Cumberland County has community transmission going on. Maine is replicating the pattern of the rest of the Northeast. Nova Scotia and New Brunswick now have cases. They're updating the facility preparation to implement a community transmission plan to kind of counteract with community transmission. The personal protective equipment will have to get onto the CDC website and get the list of the district liaisons to get personal protective equipment There was some discussion about people going to their dental appointments, and they were gonna leave that up to the dentist. They're gonna have a clinical briefing. The CDC was gonna have a clinical briefing Thursday, time undetermined. And hospital briefings on Tuesdays and Fridays. And with testing, apparently your primary provider doesn't need pre-approval to send your test forward. I guess that was a misinformation in the news lines. That's about all I can come up with at the moment.
Any recommendations from towns should do this?
I don't think we're ever gonna see that,
Okay.
except other than the governor giving her thoughts.
Which is less than 250 people, right? No
No.
meetings with 250 people or more,
No, less than 50.
no meetings with 50 people or more.
No
Right.
meetings of 50 people or more. If there are people of 60 plus of age, no more than 10.
And she's ending classroom.
What was the age, 60?
Yeah,
Okay.
60 or more, you shouldn't be in a group of more than 10 people at a time.
That's too bad. I was hoping that they would say, here's what we recommend.
No.
Maine municipal, I mean, anybody making any recommendations?
So, over the weekend, the listserv was pretty hot and heavy. This is not the first emergency meeting in the state over the weekend. There probably have been a handful of meetings over the weekend for different municipalities across the state. What we're getting from our compadres in different sections of the country that have this, and it is widespread, is the sooner you contain it, the sooner you limit your exposure to it, the likelihood that you will be healthy. If you're open, the likelihood of contagion is a lot higher. And I think we've all kind of learned, maybe not over the weekend, but let's have a conversation of if everyone gets sick at the same time and we overload the healthcare system, then the increased likelihood of unnecessary deaths. If we all get it incrementally and the curve is kind of a lot broader,
Flattened out.
it's, it's something that the healthcare system can control, at least assist with. Dave and I were looking at the emergency plan for the county, and it was pretty scary to find out that we have 30 respirators in the county, 30. So there are 14 of them at Rumford Hospital and 25-ish. So there's a little over 30 respirators, so 30 people
What's
get.
it, like to intubate someone? What's a respirator?
I think so.
Helps them in breathing.
Yeah, but that's the down the throat thing? Yeah. So I guess my question is, two things. You guys, staff needs to be safe, right? We owe you guys that. Second thing is, what do we owe the town folks? We can't look at this as, okay, you guys gotta be safe, but what do we owe the town? What do we need to do for folks in town? So think about the person who's in town, they're supposed to be, they're supposed to isolate themselves, they don't have any food, where do they go? Who do they call? Who do we, neighbors are gonna take care of neighbors and all that, but I think one of the values that we can offer is, how do we help them? How do we help someone that needs a hand, or at least get them to someone who needs a hand?
Somebody that's living hand to mouth without a paycheck.
Yeah, this is only gonna get worse,
Yeah.
right, and then, the other piece that I think we need to do all the stuff that we normally do.
You're short.
How much?
134.54.
I ain't got that with me, I'll have to get that from the house.
Tell her to go in my bedroom and she knows where it is, tell her to get
I
it from
think she
there.
already left. Yep, don't worry about it.
We need to, you know, the fire department, obviously, that needs to happen. I don't know what else that we do does. And don't take that as,
So I
Nothing we're
think
doing
that the only thing we've gotten from the state at this point is call 211. You need something, you need services, you call 211.
what,
And that's the state hotline for information on the COVID virus, if there are any services out there that can help you. There was something that went around, Bethel is specifically, actually, I'll go get it before.
I know where, I got mine right there.
We printed it off, and if people were calling and asking for assistance of any kind, there were several different numbers that you could call to get assistance. General assistance may become a necessary thing until this is over. I don't know. There are a lot of unknowns at this point because the governor, so the legislature is done tomorrow. So they've decided that the risk is too great for them to, continue to convene. So they are done as of tomorrow, and between today and tomorrow, there hopefully will be several bills that will come out that will assist the state and local governments with, providing services to the people of the state of Maine. So I outlined the two that are most important to us. One is, giving spending authority to municipalities should the pandemic last beyond the fiscal year. If we are not physically able to have town meeting because it's unsafe to have more than 10 people that are over the age of 60 together, then, that's certainly something we need to consider if we're gonna have town meeting. So that is something that we gotta consider, and there is a potential for the legislature to allow municipalities to spend at the current rate that they're under going into July should the pandemic continue that long. So we'll see about that one, and the other one is allowing telecommunications and a waiver of the Freedom of Information Act regulations during the pandemic period so that we can have, you can call in and we can have meetings so that, because we should technically be 6 feet apart. I mean, we're close, but we should technically be 6 feet apart at all times.
I said, go in my bedroom.
That may or may not happen, and I don't know.
Okay, bye.
But what I do know is what's coming from the other towns in the state that have taken steps already is, limiting your access to the town office, providing the services through email, telephone, or USPS. There's nothing we can't do in the office that can't be done through the US Postal Service, having people knock on the door. And I'm really cautious when I give stuff to people, I'm handing it to them like this. It's not that I wanna offend anyone, but I wanna protect my family and I wanna protect my staff and I wanna protect them. If you are not staying home, likelihood of you getting this is 60 to 80%.
right.
And if we all get sick, there's nobody to run anything here. If one of us gets sick, we all come in this room, we're all going to be asked to go home and stay home for 14 days. I think the one thing that came across to me during the conference call with the CDC was the quote of, everything we do in advance seems to be an overreaction, and after the fact, it's deemed that we did something way too late. So we don't want to believe it's coming. It's coming.
Well, I don't think anybody doesn't believe that it's coming or it's real. I mean, that'd be difficult to argue. We owe it to the town to do everything we can for them. And, at one extreme, just shut the door. Just shut the door. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. I mean, you do that, Do you pay people? Do you not pay people? I mean, how do we deal with all of that? But that's one extreme. The other extreme is business as usual. We'll wait to get sick and deal with it from there. And obviously, both of those are nothing that I would lobby for. But there's the two poles, right? So, how do we move forward? What's our knowing that those two are options, and not one that I'm lobbying for, please, but knowing that that's the two of the things we could do, or anything in between. What do we do? What services do we, other than fire, and getting, does the fire department have what they need, like to gown up, personal protective stuff?
Probably not.
You're a low man on the totem pole, just so you know.
Yeah, so how do you,
That's
so
what
how
the
do you deal with?
CDC said this today. They were like, the fire and first responders are the last to get it, and these PPEs are scarce. It's a scarce commodity right now, and they're getting those out to the hospitals and
But if you
paramedics.
think about it, if people are gonna be at home, it's a chimney fire time of year, right? Because people burn their fires low. I mean,
Well, you never know. Look at the one last night.
was there a chimney fire last night?
No, it was a structure fire.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. Where?
Off from Baker Road on Manson Avenue.
Yeah,
It's actually a fairly new house,
really?
but, I mean, we was lucky on it. We got it knocked down quick. It was probably saved, a lot of water damage,
Yeah,
but,
nobody in it.
When I was at Irving trying to get fuel, Mike Fields was in there, and I guess they called him to drain the furnace, because they didn't have any heat in there.
but I guess my gut feeling is on this is, unless they shut down the entire state, it's gonna happen. And even if they did shut it down, it's probably gonna happen. But what I do have a problem with is, if we shut down for 2 weeks, that's not gonna be enough. Cause, we're all gonna run and hide and crawl into our little caves. I mean, if it's 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, there's always gonna be that chance that when you come back, that first person in. So where do we draw the line?
Yeah, what I was hearing today on the radio was they're talking about this 8 weeks. This is like gotta be an 8-week cycle, which is, it's a long time. That's.
Yeah, and who's, I don't know if everybody's gonna, I'm sure Grover is not gonna pay me 8 weeks to stay home.
Right.
So the Congress passed a bill that's going to the Senate, and Trump has agreed to sign it, that it will give you up to 4 weeks paid, and it will require that your employer do that. I don't know the true and total specifics on that, but there are pieces of legislation that are going through the congressional process so that for this pandemic, people are not gonna go without being able to survive. And that's, I think,
Well, people have payments they have to
payments
make.
gotta make, yeah, absolutely.
The employees got them too, they say that
Right,
will put somebody
right.
out of business,
Right. Yeah, there will be. I mean,
Yeah.
close, but there'll be restaurants going out of business because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't lose a month's worth of business.
No.
I mean, that's.
And it's not even if they said, no, don't come, that's one thing, but people are afraid. People are, once they start seeing their neighbors go down and then there are lines, like if you watched the news this weekend, in Denver, there was 100 cars waiting in line going through a drive-through testing facility. People are not going to restaurants in Denver.
Yeah.
So once people get afraid, they're not gonna go anyway. It's going to, I mean, the reason the stock market is volatile right now is because this is what they were anticipating on happening. This is what happened in China. This is what is happening in Italy. And if we don't get ahead of it, it's gonna happen here.
So where do we, I guess let's leave the pay piece off the table for the moment, because obviously we gotta address that, but we need to decide what we're doing before we do that, then we can address that. You guys can't work from home.
I
Could
mean,
that
I can,
change?
most of what I do, I can from home, but I can't register cars from home and.
Could that change?
Most of everything we do can be done online, so you can go and re-reg your car online. It's the new registrations that are gonna become problematic.
No, but how do we get it so these guys, balance the checkbook, all the daily, you come in on Monday, you got a job to do. Can we set you guys up so that you can do this from home?
I mean, I can talk to our IT person and see what they say, but not all of us have internet at home.
Ah. All right.
I do. I
I
can.
do.
Yeah.
But
Laura, you
not-
have internet? No? You have internet? Yeah.
No one wants to bring it to me.
Yeah.
I'm willing to pay for it, no one wants to bring it
Yeah,
on the
no, I
road.
get it. No, I get it. You can't do a hotspot or anything like that.
I can do a hotspot, yeah.
Yeah.
We've had conversations about broadband in the past, and this is where the rubber's gonna meet the road here. If you don't have true broadband, glass line come into your house and everyone's on DSL at the same time, you won't be going very fast.
Yeah.
You won't be going very far. Even the cable line we have come into the office, if everybody is on that at the same time, like it was like that this morning. We weren't getting emails for a while. I couldn't log in at a couple of websites to download bills. They were just being overloaded.
Right.
So I don't know that, it sounds like it's a really great idea. Romaine is not set up so that everybody can be on the internet at all times.
The world is working from home. Half the people I talk to are working from home.
Yeah.
Samantha's not working from home, she's a nurse, so that probably isn't gonna happen. The other two are working from home. Their significant others working from home. The world's just working from home is what's happening. And that, and who knows, that's, how much more of that's gonna happen down the road anyways, but.
So there are a few things. I'm comfortable with doing what we're doing. I'm comfortable with having people come to the door, taking what they have, washing my hands multiple times while I'm doing their transaction, bringing it out to them, washing my hands again. I'm comfortable with doing that. I'm not uncomfortable with leaving the office open at this point. I don't think we're there yet. I don't know if we'll get there, but all indications are it could lead to that. We get to the point where everybody closes. That is a possibility, it's on the table. But I think right now we need to consider, first and foremost, all non-essential meetings are not, we're not having them here. I don't want people in the building unless you need to be in the building at this point. I think we need to discuss extending our second tax payment deadline. I think that postponing town meeting until June at the earliest needs to be on the table. And, do we want to continue to meet regularly, or do we want to meet at emergency situations only? How do you guys want to conduct business going forward? Because I think I'm comfortable with what we're doing. If the office staff isn't, then we need to have a conversation with them about that. But moving forward with limiting the exposure to the office and self-containing on our own.
So you just listed 4 things.
Mhm.
Let's take them one by one. What do we want to do with the office? That's so it's the office, it's meetings, it's tax payment, it's postponed town meeting. Is there anything else is there anything else that we have to, because we can be here all night and go around and around all night, so let's start triggering down the list. And is there anything else that we need to figure out? If you guys got anything, what else do we need to figure out? I think the fire, we need to figure out what we're doing. Whether there's anything going, if it's business as usual, but what are we doing for those guys? Anything else we gotta figure out? And I think the other thing we should do is a timeline for all of this. know, whatever our decisions we're making today, are we making them for this week, are we making them for 2 weeks, are we making them for 2 days? You know, so let's go there. So unless somebody's got something else, let's decide what we wanna do with the office. You know, you're suggesting it's closed to the public, but somebody can come to the door, so basically it's a drive-through office. It's basically what we're doing. Anybody got any thoughts on that?
I guess doing it coming through the office, if you're getting cash or something,
Wash my hands. I
Use
just
that
did it.
or rubber gloves, you know.
I mean, yeah, but you're still taking an awful chance. I mean, cause he can live in that for probably at least 2-3 days, or longer, depends
Does it
on.
live on surfaces?
It does for 1 to 2 days, up to 48 hours. Soft surfaces, 8 to 10.
So you throw any money in a bucket of sanitizer and let it dry. And
Yeah, I don't know.
you think it closed?
I don't know.
So mail, we have a staff member using gloves to open the mail, get rid of the envelopes, everything inside, then we're processing bills just from the insides. When I opened my mail today, I opened everything, got rid of all of the envelopes and washed my hands. And I out of true respect for everyone in the room and the public, you should be doing the same.
So, 3 options I can think of. Back to the office. 1 would be just business as usual, and away you go. 2, we close it. 3 is I'll call it a drive-through office. I don't know if is there another? It does make sense to limit hours. You know, we could open for limited hours, but open is open, closed is closed, right?
You know, people are gonna be there, whatever the time frame is.
Yeah, whether they've got it or.
I guess if we do it the way you've been doing it, but that's not really being closed to the public like was on the webpage, because you can still come do your business. So we might have to reword that somehow.
I would call it a drive-through office. And I think people understand drive-through. The health center's doing a drive-through. You call the health center and say you're sick, they meet you in the parking lot, literally.
Yeah, they're doing it at the Bethel Animal Hospital too.
Meet you in the parking lot?
Meeting you in the parking lot, taking your animal, going inside, coming back out, telling you how much you owe and what's wrong with your animal. Off
Yeah.
you go.
Well, they don't take you at the health center, they swab you, put you back in your car. But is that, you know, we listed as, you know, the office is open, it's business as usual, it's.
It's gonna be an inconvenience for both.
Right, well, I never said we were closed, I said we were closed to public traffic. They could call us, they could email us, they could knock on the door. I never said we were closed, I said we're closed to public traffic. I want to minimize the amount of people in.
I think people are thinking, when you say close to public traffic, I think people are thinking, you know, the door's locked, you can't come in. I think if you say drive-through, people will get, you know, let's put a sign on the door, knock, ring the bell,
I would
lock your horn.
prefer people to email me their issues and we can just, if you need your car re-registered, email me, I
Yeah,
can re-register it.
so start there, and if you
Yeah.
can't, if you
That
can't,
was-
come on down and knock on the door and.
Yeah.
Well, they're gonna have to come down, knock on, unless they pay by credit card, in order to pay for it anyway,
Which most people can do.
you know?
You gotta remember, there are, especially your elderly people, don't have internet.
Right, well,
Right.
and that's why I say you can call us, let us know, we'll get everything ready, and then call them back, let them know how much it is, ask them how they're gonna pay, and transaction it out.
'Cause as much as we need to take care of the staff here, we need to take care of the town.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, that's kind of a level playing, we gotta take care of everybody.
Right.
You know, I mean, that's
right,
the,
I mean, 99, all but new registrations can be done online. All your taxes can be paid online. I mean, you're paying 55 cents to mail it to us plus the envelope, or you're paying $1 to use your checking account.
Right, but to Gary's point,
Right.
not everybody has the ability to do it online. Now they can call someone, I get it,
Yeah.
I get it, but not everybody,
Right.
you
But
know.
I also, like, I think if we're gonna stay open, regardless, if we're gonna stay open, we're not gonna stay open, I 100% recommend that you extend the deadline for the second payment of taxes.
Let's stick with the office and then we'll get that, that's number 3 on our list, so. So what do we wanna do in the office? Drive-through?
That makes the most sense, I think.
What do you guys think? Drive-through?
I mean, it's working today, you know, I mean, it all depends what, like, the banks do, what everyone else does, like, I mean, it's great if we can take your money, but if the banks decide to close down, then
Right.
the money's sitting.
They're not at this point in time, because I was
No.
in there today.
Right,
And I think with all the electric, you know, you can do so much online banking.
but you
As
still
much
need
as
someone
there's
on
some
the
people
other
who
end,
can't,
yep.
there's a lot of people who can do online banking and,
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of us gets sick, we're all in quarantine.
right.
Here's the thing, we've all been working together for the last 6 months anyway, since this has all been going on, the 4 of us. It's just a matter of where do we go when we leave here.
Well, but this thing is so contagious. I mean, you
Right.
know, it's kind of crazy, you know, all of a sudden everybody's worried about food safety. Where you been? You know, there's lots of stuff out there that the people that haven't been washing their hands.
I can remember when we had the swine flu there, everybody went into panic then, you know?
Yeah.
Most everybody's still alive.
Yeah. This one, I just think it's the contagiousness of this and overwhelming the healthcare system is what, you know, whether it's true or not, I think I've heard something where in Italy right now, and the projection is that we're on the same trajectory. If you're 80 years old and you go to the hospital, you're out of luck. We don't want to be there. No, but so,
None of us are 80, so we're good.
yeah, no, close enough.
Be there by
Um,
default.
Huh?
I think we're gonna be there by default.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with Dave. If we don't close up shop and people don't stay home, we're gonna be in the same situation.
so are you saying to close the office?
I'm comfortable with what we're doing now, because I know I'm going home. I'm not going to the movies, I'm not going bowling, I'm not gonna interact with a bunch of people, and I am gonna wash my hands when I come into contact with people I don't know where they've been.
So you're comfortable with the drive-through office?
I am comfortable, at this
Yeah.
point, I mean, I'm telling you, it's a fluid situation, we may get to a point where I'm saying, I'm not comfortable anymore, there's too many sick people.
Well, that's what I said. The last thing on my list is the timeline for any of the decisions we make. So to talk, you know, we're gonna talk about the office, we're gonna talk about the meetings, we're gonna talk about tax payments, we're gonna talk about postponing on the date of the town meeting, we're gonna talk about, fire department, and then for all of this stuff, we need to talk about, what are we talking about? That sounds stupid. You know, like, okay, are we gonna group on Wednesday, are we gonna group on Friday, are we gonna group on Sunday, you know, what are we thinking? And I guess how we're gonna regroup, but let's try to stick with one. What do we wanna do with the office? What I'm hearing is, it's a drive-through office. We need to rephrase it because I think people are looking at it as the office is closed. But if we rephrase this as a drive-through office, we prefer that you prefer you do everything you can electronically or by phone. If you can't, you need to come, you know, honk your horn, knock on the door, and please, you know, wash your hands before you come. Be conscious of what you're giving us. You know, be respectful of what you're giving us, and we'll go from there. You know, we can get some rubber gloves. If we want rubber gloves, we can get some rubber gloves. That, you know, they call it exam gloves, but that's not hard.
I don't know if you can.
I had some and I used them today when I opened the mail.
I bet you,
No, but I mean, I don't know if you can actually go out and buy a lot of them now.
no, but I know a ski resort probably has all sorts of them because, and they're not operating at the moment,
Right.
so. And I don't have a key anymore, I'm sure someone would help me out, but,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I bet you, if that, you know, if we need to get a couple boxes of gloves, I bet you we could find a couple boxes of gloves. You know, for some, you know, but you can also do that with a paper towel or with, you know, and gloves have got, I'll get off on a tangent here, but gloves have got this false sense, you know, because people put their gloves on, and go like this, you know, all right, let me, what is that, what you want?
Oh,
You
when they take them
know, you know, yeah.
Where did it to go?
Huh? Latex.
Gotta be careful with latex.
Latex, yeah, but I mean, gloves gives this false sense of,
latex, right? You gotta be careful of latex.
You got a latex allergy? Yeah, yeah, a lot of people it bothers.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm hearing drive-through office. Good with drive-through office? What are we gonna do with meetings? What, is there any, you know, so I guess the problem with having a meeting on the phone is it's a public meeting. If you do it by a conference call, and post it and let anybody call in, would that be legit? You can
So
get
right-
free conference call numbers.
So right now, it is not. Hopefully by the end of the day, we will have an emergency order from the governor that says we can Zoom and you can call in, whatever.
So there's and I don't know how long this will last, but there's a company called freeconferencecall.com. I don't know if that's what they're called, but it's freeconferencecall.com. You sign up, you get a phone number, you get an access code. I use it all the time.
Yep.
You know, when we do Riverfront meetings, you wanna call in, you can call in.
You work on cell phones?
Yeah, it works slick. I don't know why it's free. I don't know why it's free,
Yeah.
but it's free. And then they constantly try to sell you the upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
But for just the simple phone call, it's free. You could post it. So anybody from the public could call in and,
Right.
you know, you could record it so that people would have it as a recorded meeting, and then you wouldn't have to do it in public. But I mean, I think I would do that if we had to, you know, meeting for the sake of meeting. I don't know that we need to do that.
No, except we're at crunch time to getting things for town meeting done, for
Right.
budget,
Right.
in
Right,
that
so-
case.
Yeah, but maybe those calls are done. It's a conference call.
If our objective for changing town meeting is to have numbers from the school and the school's closed indefinitely, because the governor last night never said 2 weeks, never said 3 weeks.
I think the office though, for Sad 44 is still open.
So let's.
But they're
well,
not gonna
let's-
have selectmen, they're not
so
gonna have
let's-
school board meetings, we're
let's
not gonna
stick
have
with-
budget numbers. I'm not trying, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, if-
I am, but we're skipping again, so, and I'm not trying to be, but let's decide on, forget the school, forget it all. Meetings, what are we doing with meetings? Then we'll decide what we're gonna do for particular stuff, but, do we wanna have meetings? Do we wanna allow, we've got planning board, those are the only scheduled ones, right?
The fire department was gonna use tonight here, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah,
They were doing a training thing with a computer here tonight.
has that been postponed?
We,
It sounds like it.
yeah,
Well, that's what we got, right, that's what we gotta decide. So who we kidding, if we are doing a drive-through office and then
yeah, that
But
don't make sense.
we're bringing,
Yeah.
a dozen firefighters or whatever in from who've been out, we've all seen a dozen people. I mean, just us being here doesn't help.
At least we're farther enough away from each other.
Anybody got a tape?
Got my yardstick.
So when do you think we'll hear from the state?
by tomorrow night,
So if we can get permission to do meetings on the phone, is that our first option? Go to this freeconferencecall.com, set yourself with a number, and away we'll go. They suck on them. They very professional. It's hard on the phone. It's not as good as being face to face,
so
but we could certainly get through what it is we need to get through.
I think that works for emergencies. I don't think it's right for us to go through budgets on the phone without the public having an ability to be able to be there. I think that if we have to spend money, we're in an emergency situation, we gotta make decisions, the situation gets dramatically worse, and we have to shut the place down, and I need your authorization, okay, that's a conference call. I don't wanna conduct business as usual over the phone, because I don't think that's right.
Okay? Yeah, I'm uncomfortable coming to a meeting here walking past someone at the door saying, you can't come in, but I can.
Right.
That ain't okay. You know what I mean? If people can't come to the office, they can't come to the office. If we can come to the office, we can come to the office, but it's not certain people can come and certain people can't. So that's the only challenge I have with meetings. It's not quite summertime, we can't quite do it on a picnic table outside, but you know, if we just gotta stop meeting until the dust settles. You know,
They're gonna sign warrants and things if they're working in the
I
office.
think we're gonna have a spending, I think that's gonna be a part of the spending authority.
but that would be, you know, or we drive over, they hand it out the door, we
Yeah.
sign it, hand it back in.
Yeah.
I don't wanna treat us any different than anybody else. You know, that's not fair.
Well, what's the difference if, you know, you do that, like you just said, we walk by them, and they got it.
Right.
We're bringing it in.
We're bringing it in, right, right,
So,
right, so we gotta stay out too. You know, then you just limit the exposure of this to 4 people. And any of the 4 people, anybody, those 4 people meet. Right now, we've added, you know, right now it's 8 people with us in the room. But I'm uncomfortable treating us any different than,
You could always pin the warrant up outside, you guys can come by and sign it, and then
Right.
you can let it air out and then go
there
get
you
it
go,
later.
Lysol it and away it goes. Could also do you know, scan it, email it, send an email saying, you have my approval, you know, that give you a backup, you know, then when the
Until
time
you
came,
actually
then the
have to
time
come
came,
in.
yeah, then the time came, we could sign it. You could scan it, you know, I mean, not all of us could scan it, but, you know,
Yeah.
I can deal with that. If I can get to work, I can deal with that.
Or I can make a photocopy for these two, leave it out there so they can review it and just okay it or sign off on those until you're all able to come in.
Right.
we're not able to e-sign documents from here, right?
Yeah, but
We
we
could
can always
make-
scan it over to you, you can open it, review it, and give us your okay online.
See, I don't have that at,
Yeah,
Maybe
you
you
can
open it?
email us and say, I'm okay with you paying these.
Yeah.
And then we'll use
Then you have
that
that-
as
then staple that to the
authorization
piece.
until
Yeah,
you can
right.
actually come in and physically sign.
Right. Yeah. And I think we could be reasonable with,
Yeah.
you know, could that be misconstrued? Yeah, sure, you wanted to, but
right?
at some point,
As long, well, all those would be public records, I mean, emails and stuff, so.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
If and when this ever got done, or I guess you could hand them all out through, but then
right.
who's gonna go through all those papers and then?
Right.
Online.
Most everything online.
Right.
Right,
Does the warrant go online right now?
well, see, that's the problem, everybody's online, so it's so damn slow, you know?
Right.
I don't know.
I think I'll get that, I'm gonna stay up till midnight tonight.
Wait for that thing to come, yeah.
We sent you the email last week, and you get it yet.
Mm.
It's on its way.
You
So-
say that, but that happened to us, remember? You called me and you're like, what is this? And I'm
Right.
like, yeah, it's from
Right.
2 weeks
That
ago.
takes time. So am I hearing no meetings?
I guess we're gonna do it by email or phone, or depending on the situation, I guess.
So let's be clear, we're gonna do that if the governor says it's okay to do that. If not, we
The
have to
phone.
physically meet, yeah. Email, telephone conference, any of that stuff right now is not lawful. So
Right,
if the
so-
governor does not give us authority through emergency order, then we're stuck with, we don't make any decisions until we all get in this room and we meet, and we allow the public in, or we just
And
don't meet.
if we're gonna close the office, which
Yeah.
we've agreed to do, we're not meeting. I mean, there's not gonna be a lot of business happening. There's not gonna be a lot of stuff, you know, still need to do payroll, still need to do the whatever, the monthly, you know, the oil bill with that, and all that stuff. But we can approve that by email, and there's no other meetings happening, no other decisions being made. You know, and I know what I'm saying, that's gonna get us to, what the hell we gotta do about town meeting, but that's further down the list, so we'll blow that one up when we get down our list, but at this point, you know, what I'm hearing is there's no meetings at all, no in-person meetings. We will see if we get approval to do meetings by conference call, and then post that,
Yeah,
post the phone number, and
right.
let anybody be involved,
If that's,
if that becomes legal.
right.
Yeah, and if that doesn't become legal, we're just not meeting.
Well, we've already said that we don't wanna be treated any different than the rest of the public.
But at some point, so, we may have to, because it's like a true emergency, like, okay, like, we need money for this, or we need your authority to do that. Like, it might become an emergency situation, like any other emergency situation, where you have to come in and you have to do it. We're doing what we can to limit the exposure of the public to the office and the office to the public, but there might come a time where we have to meet. And we have to stay 6 feet apart from each other. And if you're sick, you go home. You don't come.
And then, so two of us don't show up, we don't have a quorum, you don't get nothing done. Or if there's only two
Then
of
I
us.
no, because then there's emergency provisions where at least one selectman can make the decisions. If you're under an emergency provision, you can do that. They had to do that in Paris, so I know that can be done. It's just not as clean cut as, I mean, let's be clear, we're in.
But what do we have, like, what emergency decisions coming up that we're gonna have to make? We don't know it, but like, what?
It's an emergency because you don't know it.
You don't know it, right? But I mean, just thinking, like, what do we ever get out? What do we come across as a town that, oh my God, we're not in the life-saving business, right?
Right.
So, short of that, what do we come across that we really got to do?
Hey, I have 15 people out the door looking for general assistance, and I have no money.
Got it.
Hey, we've got 15 families in town that need oil, and I've run out of general assistance funds that we've banked up over the years.
Right.
That's beyond my authority to say, yeah, okay, I can.
So we come and we stand in the parking lot and we have our meeting and give you the authority and off we go.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, if it comes to that.
If it comes to that, yeah, we'll all drive up, we'll stand 6 feet apart, we'll do it outside.
Right.
Hopefully it's not raining.
You go to the fire station if it is.
You guys go to the fire station, it's,
Right,
I just,
yeah.
and I know I said it, and I think you guys are with me, I don't wanna treat us any different than it would. It's the wrong message.
And this could be, who knows how long.
Could be a week, could be 8 weeks. Yeah, no, you're correct, your first statement's correct, who knows?
8 weeks, we'll probably
If people
have to have a
don't-
meeting.
So here's the thing, if people don't stay home, it's gonna be longer.
People aren't staying home,
That's right.
people aren't staying home, they're not. Yeah. So, we'll stop all meetings except for emergency ones. We have an emergency meeting, we'll figure out how we're gonna do that. Hopefully, now that's, if we could get authority to do them over the phone, we'll go do them over the phone.
Or email, whichever.
Yeah, I struggle with email meetings.
Yeah, we
It's just
can't
such
do
a tough-
email meetings.
It's just such a tough conversation, but
We can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that in fairness of Tink. We gotta keep them involved.
yeah, but it's so difficult to have a conversation by email. I think if we, but, to do it over the phone, and as long as we get that call-in number and that gets published and anybody can get it, and then we just record it.
Yep.
We all be out, sitting in our recliners.
That's right. That's what happens on phone meetings, that's what happens on conference calls.
I can see he's paying attention.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
Are
think,
you
Jim?
there?
Hello?
Are you there?
Hello?
Other
Yeah.
than the snoring starts, right?
Yeah. But that could get us, we could,
Get us, I mean, hopefully over the hump.
we're in the, I mean, granted, it's just starting, but you're sending us the stuff before. We can get a look at it, email her with questions, come to the meeting with, here we are, and what do you wanna do with this, what do you wanna do with that? And I think that makes the most sense. Tax payments.
Yeah, they'll extend it.
Because you don't think people have money?
I think that, yeah, if I didn't know if my next paycheck was coming, I'm not paying that, A. B, you're limiting your access to the town office. It's the right thing to do. And C, I think we're in extraordinary times, and although I would say probably half of what is due has already come in, I think it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You do it for a month? When are they due?
They're due the 31st of this month.
What do you propose, extend it for a month?
Yep, and then if we have to do anything else going further than that, if we're not open, if we're not back to normal by then,
Cash flow will be
we're fine.
okay?
We're fine.
Right.
We need to make a motion on it.
Yeah, well, we should probably we can come back and do a motion on all of these things. But, okay. Postponing town meeting. No, we need to have something done for January.
Second Tuesday in May, I believe it is.
Right, but we got July 1, our new year, we don't have any, right now we have nothing past
Mhm.
June 30. Now, in the past, we used to have town meetings in March, and our fiscal year ended in December. So we're not in new territory here.
No.
Obviously, we're not gonna be able to have a public hearing or a public meeting to discuss extending, but at this point, do we leave that one alone until it's,
Well, we're
So
looking 2 months away, we could set on that for a little bit.
yeah,
I would not do that in case this goes on further and then we're not having a public conversation about it because we're doing these meetings on conference calls. I think it's clear that even if we're not doing public meetings for 2 weeks, it's gonna be really, really difficult for us to be ready 3 weeks out before we have to post the warrant for town meeting. So I don't think May 12th is feasible town meeting date at this point.
Yeah,
So I would say that you postpone town meeting until at least June, and then we will reevaluate from there.
what do you worry about? What do you worry about not, so pretend this didn't happen. Office is going, everything's going per usual, we have our regular meetings. We get to the point where we can meet and have, we've got however many in front of us right now, that we can talk about. I don't know if we can do it tomorrow, but we'll talk about this week, to move, so we can keep the process moving forward. I don't know why can't we get it all done for May? What's different?
School's not gonna be meeting. School board's not gonna be meeting. School board's not gonna have their numbers for us at the end of April.
But we can project that. We've got a guess. We guessed on it. I mean, this is just not new territory for us because we guessed for so many years,
I thought the
right?
reason why we changed it was that we weren't gonna be guessing.
We were,
And
yeah,
that we
we were.
were
Yeah.
going to go
Yeah.
to town meeting and tell everybody at town meeting that, yeah, this is what we're looking at.
Right. And then coronavirus happened.
Yeah,
So-
right, so I have everything that's on your list for tomorrow that we're not meeting on, and then I probably have 7 more budgets on top of that.
Yeah.
So if we're not meeting in a public setting where we can all sit down and discuss it, how are we gonna go through budget numbers without,
Well, let's assume that the phone thing is allowed.
I don't think that's an option to do.
Why?
Yeah.
You send us the stuff, we review it, we ask you any questions, we get on the phone, we go through it just like we're sitting here. Yeah, good with that number, nope, not good with that number. Not trying to argue, but
it is doable.
And hopefully this is all blown over a little bit so we can meet
I've got equipment to do it.
in the end of April or
Well,
April.
basically we were meeting every week this month to get this done.
And then we waited to do the RFP for assessing, and that's not coming back until April, so we were still behind. I was behind where I wanted to be, but I was okay.
Yeah.
And then we weren't meeting for another 2 weeks, and my hope at that point was to have a warrant in front of you, and you guys could have reviewed the warrant, and we can make final decisions on the budget, change numbers if we need to.
Right, because we want
Because
to
I
look
have
at
to
the total.
post it 8 days in advance, so I need to have it posted by the 1st of May.
Right, so that's 6 weeks out, right? From right now?
Mm-hmm.
It just seems doable. I mean, if I'm missing something, I'm missing something, but
I'm uncomfortable with having budget conversations and not have it open to the public,
it will be.
you know. If this passes, it will not be open to the public.
They can call in.
I don't think so. I don't think that's how this is gonna work.
The public can't call in?
I don't know I don't know what it's gonna look like, I don't know what the bill's gonna look like, but in order to do it, you have to bend the rules for freedom of information and for a public meeting, and that's my concern, is when we're talking about the people's money and their budgets, I'm not comfortable doing budgets and not having the public be able to be there and scrutinize that process. If you guys are, I'll move forward, I'll do whatever you tell me to do, but I'm not comfortable with that.
Brooks?
As a thought, we have the capability to live stream now. So that's a possibility that we could offer.
Yeah, but it doesn't work in all the places in town. If you got satellite dish, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and you have to have internet otherwise, right? You have to
Yeah.
YouTube it, or does it live stream right to the website? You'd have to download or go to the website and watch it that way?
You can do it on the website, or I believe we can do it to YouTube so that it will store it.
Yeah.
That would be, but that would be us in a room. Like it'd be like live streaming the, and thank you first. But like live streaming, could you just live stream the audio?
You could, well, they could call in, you could have a call in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It'd be a conference call that anybody could call into. Anybody would be part of the conversation. You know, I mean, and again, they're meetings held in public. They're not public meetings.
Right.
So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a conversation for us. We can take input or not. We certainly always want to take as much input as we can. But I just don't know if it's going to get any easier. You know, I mean, we postponed it till June. We're doing this thing in September. You know,
And we might be doing that because the governor may be giving us the authority to do that, because if it's not safe for 10 or more of you people that are over 60 years old with underlying health conditions to be in the same room,
right.
that I can't see that going the other way. It's gonna get more and more stringent,
Right.
okay? Like,
Yeah, we may not be able to hold the meeting anyways, but like from a operational standpoint for us, I mean, nothing's really changed timeline wise for us. I mean, we're still,
Yeah, we always did work on it pretty much with the future budget.
yeah, you know, we had the plan to get the budget done has been the plan to get the budget done, and that
Right.
way. So I would suggest we hold off for a minute on making a decision on moving town meeting. Would be my, you know, it may be something we have to do. You may be dead right. You know, come, well, that's an awful word. You may be absolutely correct. Come a month from now, if people still can't get together, we can't have town meeting and exclude anybody over 60. There'll be 4 people in the room.
I was gonna say, that's the ones that most of them are.
Right,
You know.
right. So do we hold off on that one for a minute?
I would think, right? I would think we don't need to make that decision right now.
Right this sec. Yeah, you all right with that, Gary?
I can see this thing going on for unforeseeable future.
Right. Yeah, I mean, let's be, I don't think anybody here thinks that we're gonna walk out of it tonight with a plan that's gonna be the plan, that's gonna work, and we
Yeah.
check that one off the box, moving on, that's not happening. So,
I mean, that's like the school, they said 2 weeks, but I doubt if it's gonna be just 2 weeks.
Well, if you listened to the governor last night, she did not give an end date. she said all public school instruction is closed, period. No, closed for 2 weeks, closed for 3 weeks, closed for 8 weeks, it's closed. That's why I mean, my thought was we were changing town meeting so that we knew what we were getting into as far as our budget was concerned. That was the big push to do it this way, and knowing that they're not going to probably meet.
The push from my mind was cash flow. That was why we needed to, we needed to get ourselves a new fiscal year so we have cash flow.
But I think you have to have vote on at the town meeting to use a certain percentage of your money
Right,
for the next period of time.
right, which we don't have.
Which we don't have.
The
Yeah.
governor is gonna give us that, or she's not. She's
Right.
gonna say, under emergency order, you have the authority to spend it, what you're spending at 1/12 of the rate
Right.
for every month that this thing goes on.
Yeah,
That's
right.
what's gonna happen.
Right.
Um,
So let's hang on to that one for a minute. Let's keep plugging to try to get let's keep plugging like we're going in June, so we'll try to keep working through the budgets going through June. If we can't get it done, we can't get it done, we can make that decision that, for whatever reason, we're unable to get it completed, but I think we can, if these conference calls are allowed, I think we can, I think business work, if they're not, we have to rethink things. But if they are, although it's not a great way to meet, it's doable. I think we can get done what we need to get done. And the budget stuff, frankly, is pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward. It's not a lot of philosophical
Let's come up with
conversations.
this number, and then if we have to figure, say, oh, we need to whittle it, then that's when it becomes complicated.
Yeah.
right, and that's when a conference call's not gonna,
Yeah.
that's not
It's-
gonna work.
it's
Because
just-
we're not all gonna be on the same page.
Right, but
You
it's
don't
just,
visually see it.
it's numbers. It's I don't know. Anyway, I think we should, my thought is we wait on that. For the time being, let's hold tight on what we want. Let's hold tight on changing town meeting. Let's not make that decision tonight. See what happens here in the next, week to 10 days, and then we can make some decisions.
That's my thinking too.
Yeah. You go with that one, Gary? I mean, we obviously don't need we don't need a negative motion, so. Fire department. How do we take care of the fire department? Anything we need to do different?
Well, they've got rubber gloves if they get to an accident, or whatever.
We have protocols. I
Yeah.
mean, if people,
But
like he said, if you go to an accident, you're supposed to pull your gloves
they
on.
got self-contained breathing that some people can wear if it becomes a real problem,
But I mean, as far as showing up, you're still gonna be exposed.
Mhm.
If it's a car accident, we go up, you don't know anything that's there, I mean.
Right, what's in the car?
And you go to a house fire, you don't know, a chimney or one of those false alarms, as far as that, alarm
Right.
calls.
Right.
You go up and, they're all standing around in the lobby at the Summit of Jordan.
No, they're closed.
Well, they are now,
Yeah.
but
they're
now, are
closed
they
now.
closed for the rest of the year? Cause I've heard different rumors that they were opening back up on Thursday.
But you
The
got
ski
the,
resort?
you got
Yeah.
the,
I don't know.
you've got the,
That's not the way I read it, but
Yeah,
I'm just saying
I read
that's,
the press release that they were closed for the season till
Well,
April
that's
30th.
the way I got it, but I should think about who said it before I get too crazy.
Yeah, I really don't know, but I think the answer is, I don't know that anybody knows.
and you got, still got this, the condo people there
Yeah.
that own a unit or got a piece of the unit or whatever.
Right. The only thing that, all of the springtime events have been canceled.
Right.
So that's done. The resort is closed. I'm sure if things settle out and the resort can reopen, the resort will reopen.
Right.
But,
The email I got said that the Jordan, the Summit, and some other places were all closed.
yeah, I don't know, I don't know that.
Like,
Yeah.
you want me to grab you the email? Is that
No,
what-
doesn't matter.
I
Yeah,
mean, what I'm wondering is, they're close to their quarter shares,
they
Yeah.
basically said that, oh, that's closed and they will be refunding people.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
that's not our
No, I know
Yeah.
that, but it's just the fact that people would be there.
Yeah. So, fire, I mean, obviously, we're business as usual?
It's gonna pretty much have to be, maybe we got meetings that might or might not have to be, but they only got 6 members, so.
We're just gonna have to maybe be more cautious and maybe, I don't know if we have a lot of those masks that we could use, you know.
We
that-
got a few of those, ones like you could use on a forest fire, it's like the doctors wear there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that would protect us to an extent, but one call,
You probably would use them all up, yeah.
Right. um, we don't really wanna say we're not gonna respond anymore.
Can't.
You
Yeah,
know,
you can't.
we have to.
Right, right. And
I
guess-
mean, I guess that's gonna be left up to each individual on the department, whether they choose to show up or not. We can't make them,
Right,
you know, because I definitely don't make every call.
right.
I mean, I guess that's gonna be on an individualized person, but
But it's decisions that the fire department can handle this, you know, I mean, we don't need to, I guess the only, if the fire department needs something from the select board, you know,
No, I don't think we do, I mean, because we're at the point where we have to be careful of bloodborne pathogens and all that stuff, you
right,
know?
and it's
Right.
nothing new,
we
Yeah.
have to deal with
Yeah.
that, so.
right. Yeah,
Except for we're not EMTs, maybe we should have been, then we would've got some PPE. You know, but,
all right, we've whittled down our list, so the last thing on my list is the timeline for all this, and then we'll go through and do some votes. What, are we, you know, I mean, I guess the next big thing we've got is Wednesday, we'll know whether or not we can do phone calls and that sort of stuff. And then we, you know, do we go week by week? I mean, do we do we're planning on meeting on Tuesdays anyways, right? So do we go week by, I don't know if we can do anything tomorrow because we're not gonna meet together and we don't know about the phone. So I don't know if we can do anything tomorrow. So we wait and see what happens. If we do get phone approval, then we have our meeting next Tuesday by phone and we start doing, you know, every week we decide whether we're, you know, okay, is the office still gonna run like this, is, you know, what are we doing? Something changes in between, and we'll call and fix it. But I guess what I'm proposing is we're doing this
Like a week
7 day
to week
chunks,
or-
7 day chunks.
Yeah,
You know, we're doing 7 day chunks, 3 of them the office is closed. But we would talk on Tuesday and decide what's happening for the
yeah.
remainder of that week. You know, and then we'd make decisions on, okay, now it's time to move town meeting or not move town meeting or all that. That all works as long as we can have phone conversations. If we can't have phone conversations, we're closed.
You're closed.
Right,
We're not
Right.
closed.
right. I mean, you can keep, you know,
Yeah.
but if we can't have phone conversations, I mean, you can get all the budget stuff done, but you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's almost all done anyway at this point, but yeah.
Right.
You know, I just, and maybe I'm not communicating it well, but I thought we were changing to May so that if the school goes up $400,000, we can at least pair off what we need to pair off.
Yeah.
That's not completely essential, so that we can, you know,
You're absolutely correct, yeah.
and we're not getting that. We're not getting that from the school
We-
by,
But we had a projected school total in the last meeting.
Yep.
So, I mean, you're right, perfect world, this
Right.
isn't happening, that's what we wanna be doing, but if we can't have that, we don't have that,
right, but I mean, let's be clear, we're in a brave new world here.
Mhm.
And who knows what this will be on their budget. Maybe they need to upgrade their technology so that if this ever happens again, they have to, you know, become more online stream. Who knows? I have no idea. I'm
Right.
just making things up at this point, but
I don't think we can set a date for town meeting.
No, not really.
no. But I want it to be clear to everybody that May 12th very likely does not look like this is gonna work.
Got it, but rather than, so, okay, we're gonna move it to June, then we're gonna move it to July, then we're gonna move, at this point, let's leave it alone, and then, you know, get all the work done so we can be ready to go for then. We can certainly talk to, you know, David Murphy's pretty easy to get a hold of. We can have a conversation with David saying, you know, you gave us a rough number, you know, is that thing gonna change by 50%? You know, and he'll give us a sense, and we can make some decisions from there, but, yeah, I'm not comfortable moving that. I'm hearing from you guys also, and none of us are comfortable moving it yet. Let's, a couple weeks from now,
Yeah, get a little closer.
Right,
to
we
it.
could be moving it every month for the next 6 months.
right, and I don't wanna do that. You know, if there's emergency legislation, great. The town meeting's gonna be in September, gonna be in October, gonna be whatever, and boom, away we go, and
Well,
we
there's
just,
a point that we could run out of money, but if it's a ways out there.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's gonna be in the same boat.
Well,
right?
and,
No,
okay,
that's
so
what I
then
mean, but
that's
if we're running out, they ain't paying their bills, and now we're all right, you know?
that's where, yeah.
but
I
we're,
mean,
we're,
we're very
We're in pretty good
infant
shape now, I
stages, yeah.
understand that, I would just.
no, I mean, we're guessing, you know, with,
Yeah.
you know, we can all, hey, the sky's falling, no doubt, the sky's falling, but
Yeah,
let's get through, you know, one bite at a time, right? That's my thought. You guys good with the week? Go week to week?
I am.
I would think that's probably,
If we can't meet, then I'll just send you a memo. This is where we're at, this is what's going on, this is what the CDC is saying, this is how things are going,
Yeah.
and
But we can always
if we
talk.
have to have a meeting in the parking lot, then we have to have a meeting in the parking lot.
Right, and we can always talk on the
Mhm.
phone.
Yeah, but if we don't get that authorization, we cannot make decisions on the phone, we have to do it in a
Correct.
public, yeah.
Correct, but we, you know, but we can, you know, okay, you gotta call Tink now.
Yeah.
Okay, you gotta call Gary.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna be a
Well, like
pain, it's gonna be a
yesterday?
pain in the ass, right? It's gonna be a pain in the ass, but okay, we're gonna be in the parking lot at 5 o'clock. See you at 5 o'clock in the parking lot.
Yeah.
all right, so how do we get these disposable hazmat suits?
Bet you can't buy it on Amazon.
Bet you can't either, but.
But the fire department bought a rig that they were, it's medically, they use it to decontaminate their fire trucks. And it's like a steam that comes out of it.
I see him spraying, on the news you see him
Yeah,
spraying
and
stuff.
it-
I'm always
it's
wondered what that was.
supposedly energizes any place that
Sanitizes
they
anything,
use it,
yeah.
you know?
All right, so we got a list.
So what are we doing?
We need to make, so we need to vote on the office, we need to vote on meetings, we need to vote on tax payment. We're gonna table the town meeting, fire department is taken care of.
The best they can.
Best they can, we need to do, you know, we the town need to do something, I mean, you know, obviously we got 2/3 of the fire department here, so. And then we just, when we talk about all of this, with the, I guess, let's say, for the next 7 days, here's our,
Our agenda.
you know, here's our.
Non-agenda.
Yeah, I wanna,
Well, no, you're authorizing, this is what we're doing for the next.
for the next 7 days, is that the
Yeah.
right, is that the best thing to do? Or is
I
that gonna
would
tie us
probably
up?
not do it for 7 days, well, this is
So-
gonna happen for the next 2 weeks, then we'll reevaluate in 2 weeks. and-
So we know, right, so we know we're talking,
We can go we'll go 2 weeks and then evaluate it week to week or whatever at that point in time.
well, I mean, if we wanna wait 2 weeks, we can, but what we just talked about was hopefully
Every
Tuesdays,
week.
every Tuesdays, and you know, if we
Yeah.
can't do the conference call, maybe
Things
Tuesday
change.
we come stand in the parking lot. You
Seems
know,
like every Tuesday it snows.
wear a hat. I mean, for, you know,
That meeting will be short then.
they gotta be short, they gotta be 5-minute meetings. But we just gotta meet in the parking lot and do what we gotta do for 10, 15 minutes, and fortunately, daylight savings time has come. We don't have to meet in the dark.
Well, We'll make markers every 6 feet.
Yeah, there you go. Draw us a circle. Okay, so what we talked about for the office is that we are gonna do a drive-through office.
We need a motion for that.
Yeah,
I'll make a motion that we have a drive-through office.
encourage people to do what they can on the phone or through email.
Okay, have people check into the office to know to find out what they have to do to have everything as complete as possible, so that we have less
Right.
things being passed back and
Yeah,
forth,
less exposure.
less exposure.
You got that?
No, we have to listen to me. Is that thing going?
So it's a,
I'll second it, whatever he said.
so it's a drive-through office is the thing.
Yeah.
Encouraging people to do what they can online and over the phone to minimize
Exposure.
person-to-person
Exposure.
So
exposure.
it's not only for us, but it's for them too, because we don't know.
Yeah, for everybody. Yeah, right. No,
Yeah,
that's right.
I
That's for
have a
everybody.
5-year-old.
Well,
I won't even know when he has it. He'll just give it to everybody.
well,
So,
we all have spouses too that
Yeah?
are in different contacts with different people, so.
so we got a motion, we got a second. All those in favor? So we got a meeting plan. We got an office plan. Meetings, I don't know that we can do a motion on meetings because we have to wait to hear. No, I guess you can.
Yeah.
So,
thank you.
looking for a motion that says
To
an if then,
cancel.
if then statement. If we are allowed to do meetings on the phone, we will do our meetings, Amy will get a conference call number, give us the number, we will call in, we will publish that number to the public. I don't know, Brooks, how you can help us with a TV station to get that out there, because the meeting's not gonna be happening. There's nothing to
So,
film.
hold on, before we get there, we're canceling all public meetings at the town office.
Alright, so let's start with that. Yeah, right, you're right.
Yeah, for the 2-week period or 1 week.
Yeah, I
Well,
would say for the next 2
1
weeks.
week.
Yes, yeah, but what, are we putting a timeline on them or not? That's,
Well, that, we haven't
so,
decided.
let's not put an end to it. Right now, they're canceled.
Yeah,
I would be, the motion I would look for is to cancel all town meetings till further notice.
So I have to cancel all public meetings at the town office until further notice.
So I'm looking for that motion.
I'll make a motion that we cancel all public meetings at the town office until further notice.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? So now I think I would look for a motion that says if the legislature, the governor allows us to do meetings by phone, we authorize Amy to get us a free conference call number, get the word out to us, and we will start doing our meetings by conference call.
That's the way you worded it, if that's the way you worded it, I'll second that.
That makes sense, Barb? All right, so so that'll be, yeah, I'll make that motion.
Okay.
I can make a motion, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yes. So that'll be a motion, we got a motion in a second. Gary, if that went too quick, we can talk about that one for a
No,
minute.
that's good.
That's good? It makes sense to you, Amy?
I said, if allowed to do phone conference meetings, authorize Amy to make that happen.
There you go. All those in favor? So moved.
Did you second that?
I did second.
Second that. And then we're looking for a motion to extend taxes until May 30? Is it
May or
30
April.
days? Sorry, April, there's only 30 days in April, all right?
Yeah.
Is that the date you're looking for, Amy?
Deadline. Yeah, and if we have to do, at some point, you gotta just bite the bullet and say, yeah, you gotta pay. But I would say that we need to give them at least 30 days extra to pay, because we're not gonna,
Most of,
The only challenge, I'm good with doing it, the only challenge I have with that, if you don't have the money on March 30th and you're caught up in this thing, you're not gonna have it on April 30th either, but we'll deal with that. This gives them some breathing time.
this is one,
breathing room, yeah, just a breathing room to figure out what they could shuffle or, so, someone wanna make that motion?
I'll make a motion that we extend the property taxes until April 30th.
Second.
Is that,
Yeah, I have extend second tax deadline to April 30th. Motion by Gary White.
Seconded by Tank. All those in favor? So moved. I think I need a motion to adjourn unless we have anything else.
I'll make that a motion to adjourn.
Everybody's good? Second, so moved. Thanks, you guys. You guys are all good? As good as we can be, right? We'll figure this out. All right.
I think it's as smooth as can be expected.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Right.
World warming up.
Right. Yeah, I don't know what else we can do.
Try to keep some sort of.
Some sort of calm.
Yeah.
We just always broken power kind of plan. So.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of, we didn't get you one of those drive up so they could talk to you.
So, this is the other thing, if this is gonna go on for a long period of time, we might wanna get a drop box.
Yeah. So we just, I mean, we got anything we could, you put the ballot box out there when it's not raining, when people put stuff in the ballot box?
It says property of the state of Maine on it.
A little bank, you think.
Well, duct tape,
We could probably,
duct tape will fix most anything.
well, that's pretty, we'd have to have something,
Well, that and
No,
you
you
know
just
what?
wanna
I forgot all about it, but Dave Barry's supposed to be like knocking down the whole front end of the building here really soon. too.
well, he may not be allowed to do that. So, I mean, there's so many things that have been started.
We didn't just open the window, but make a slot, and they just slide it through and it falls on the floor, you know?
Yeah, okay.
I guess they did shut down New Balance
Really?
for a couple of weeks.
You didn't know about the groceries. Never were taken away.
We're all wondering, he said we can't have a meeting with more than 50 people.